Hey everyone, welcome to 15 Hours of Torture. Today we're starting with Penguin Panic, and I'm joined here with two very special guests. We're joined with Duig. Hi Duig.
Hello.
And also we got Jeroen in here, and to those who do not know Jeroen, he's actually the developer of this game, who has made this game in their free time, and honestly it's quite the banger. Hello Jeroen.
Hi there. Good morning.
Good morning. I managed to call these in pretty early because I know you're an hour earlier than me, so 8 o'clock, so thank you very much for making your time. We're gonna be attempting to speedrun this game as fast as possible. In my bottom right corner of the screen, you can see Duig's current run. So, on the left here, I have my live splits, which I will try to keep up as good as possible. And without much further ado, ready in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, so,
Are you ready? Here we go.
Can you maybe tell me a little bit about, like, how did you get to this game? Was it an inspiration you got at some point? Or was it more like some of you were like,
Yeah, I made this game with my brother Bowie, and we wanted to make something for our kids. That was the initial thought, and then we also had an idea to have this game as a step up. So let's say a practice game for something even bigger. But in the end, it took so much time, and we had so much ideas to make it more fun and better that we kept on working on this one and didn't work on the other one. So that's how it came to be. And the inspiration for it is I've used an MSX computer. So that's a computer from the 80s, 8-bit computer, and you had Konami games on that one. I'm not sure. Konami, of course, is still a very well-known brand, a game brand. And Penguin Adventure was one of the best games made for that system, which is, of course, about a penguin. So that's why this one also has the main character, a penguin.
Alright. Yeah. What was the main idea for the bigger game? You said that this was a step-up game. What was the original cancelled idea, or was there no distinct plans for that one yet?
The idea was that we would create with this game something that where you could control the main character in, especially on mobile. At first it was only a mobile game. In such a way that it was very enjoyable and satisfying to move the character. And then in the end we wanted to make a multiplayer platform game where you could battle each other.
Oh.
So let's say I made a similar game like that a long time ago in 1999, where you could battle against other players, basically in a 2D environment.
Are you ready?
And that is really fun. It's a really fun game. It was played also in schools, but it's outdated. So if you play it now, you need protocols and drivers that are no longer on regular systems. So it's not possible to play that anymore. But we thought, okay, let's try to create a game single player, which is easier than multiplayer, but where you have a movement that is so satisfying and easy that playing it is fun, and then we can expand that to multiplayer later.
Here we go.
And that's also why the climbing mechanic is there, because when you move against something that is an obstacle, we didn't want you to be stuck, so you automatically start climbing. And I must say, in this game, sometimes it's even harder that you start climbing instead of not climbing. But the idea was that it was like, easier to move.
Are you ready?
Here
we go.
I accidentally skipped a level, so I'll have to backtrack that one. You said it was supposed to be like competitive, a fighting game. You said. Do you mean like a racing game against each other that you see who has the fast? Oh, I'm messing up. Is it like, or mostly like
ready?
actual fighting?
Here we go.
No, it was like shooting each other.
Oh.
Basically. Yeah. So in the first versions of the game, we were not sure what to do, if we would make it exploratory or if we would make it like a racing game.
Are you ready? Here we go.
And that also made the game less fun. If you don't know what kind of game you're making and it becomes something in between, usually it's a lot less fun. You should choose very, very carefully what you want and then focus all your efforts to achieve that. And when it was like half exploring, half going fast, it was just not feeling right. And for example, one of the things that you have in the beginning now is that you see the egg and then at the beginning of the level, and then the camera pans to you.
Are you ready?
So that's something that we
Here we
added
go.
to make it clear without using text or whatever what the goal is of the game. And also most of the levels are quite linear. So some are, especially in the later levels are bigger. So then it's more also exploratory. But in the end we also used the time that goes the timer in the right the top hand corner to make it clear that the time is really important. And collecting fish is important, but you should foremost look at the timer. So that's why the game is as it is.
Yeah, because
Are you ready?
whatchamacallit,
Here we go.
the timer was originally just to make sure that people go fast, or was it like a challenge to tell people like, hey, you can take your time but not too much?
Yeah, it was basically the main goal was to give you the bonus.
Are you ready?
Right, so if
Here we
you
go.
you get twice as many fish if you reach the end within the timer, and that was but it was added not in the first versions. So in the first version you only had the fish, and you had the egg, and then you had to go to the end. But of course, if you have all the time in the world, it's not that much fun. So we added the timer, and then at that point we thought, okay, we really should rethink what the game is about, and make the levels even a bit smaller, a bit more less paths you can take. It's one path is good enough, but it needs to be an interesting path, and then you can beat your time. And then of course in the very last build I added the ghost. So then you can battle your own ghost, which makes it a lot more fun. And then I saw, you can also add the achievements, and you add the leaderboards, etc. And of course that's what you have now in the game.
Yeah, I think hearing where it came from, that the dash into the racing aspects of the game have made it quite interesting. I mean, I think I'm one of the few people who actively has gone into speedrunning this game, but for speed, this game is fantastic. Originally, I will be very frank, I was a little hesitant about this game. I was like, it's probably gonna be a good bit of fun.
Are you ready?
But,
Here we go.
the thing that surprised me was how smooth the controls felt. That's what you were saying as well earlier, that was one of the main focuses, get a game that just feels so good to play. That I think this game turned out significantly better than what I expected, especially on the pay grade. You have mentioned there are different platforms as well. How's your current endeavors into Epic Games going?
Yeah, that one is going really well, actually. So what is interesting about, if you look at Steam, the game is primarily sold when there is a discount. So then we see an uptick in the number of sales, and there is almost no sales if there is no discount at all, which is understandable. If you look at the thousands of games that are on Steam every year, it's very difficult to stand out. What you see on Epic is that there's sales every day, and it's less than Steam in the beginning. But what I see is that there's daily sales going on, So then, eventually Steam will maybe even, outperform. Epic will outperform Steam. So I think that is an interesting platform to have, next to Steam. So I wouldn't advise only going for Epic Games, but it's I think a good one to, also use. And that's a surprise for me because I thought, okay, maybe it will do well,
ready?
maybe it will not do
Here we
well.
go.
But what drives these sales is not, I don't know. So we don't have 100 sales in a day, but we have a couple of sales every day, and that's nice especially for this game. I'm really happy with that. And if you look at the other platforms, the game is really popular on Android. So there's hundreds of people downloading this on Android every day, and on iOS, for example, it's almost nobody downloads it. So it's strange. You need, I think what you're saying, I'm also hearing from other people. So if you pick up and play it, it's fun. So people are enjoying it. I can also see that in the analytics. I can see how many people complete the first level, how many people complete the game altogether. Analytics like that are very interesting. That's also why I like making games and completing games, because you can, watch all those statistics all the time. But yeah, they have to be able to find it, and they have to be able to be visible in the store. Otherwise, of course, they won't see it and they won't download it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you said that the major part of Android was also the televisions. You said something like that.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, so it's, you can play it on Android TV. Also, by the way, on tvOS, so on the iOS version of that. You can play it on your television set. So you can use a controller, or you can use even the remote. And I think that is one of the strong points of this game. It's not expensive or anything. You can just download it, and it's easy. So you don't need any. You have a tutorial that lasts less than a minute, so it's really simple, and you only need the directional buttons and the keypad, or the key, the A button, which is all you have on a remote. So then you can just play it on the big screen with your remote. So, and I see that almost 50% of the players are from that platform, are using the platform.
That's very interesting. So, you're releasing the game on many platforms now. Do you have any further ambitions for updates, or is it mainly going to be what is here is going to be here?
Well, there's still two platforms that I want to bring the game to. So the one is the web. So we're looking at maybe making a version for Poki of this game.
All right.
For that, we will have to optimize it a bit, because for web you need a smaller build. But yeah, I think we can achieve it. So we're working on that, and we also have to integrate, of course, with their portal. And then there's another one which I'm currently actively working on, and that's the Switch port.
Oh yeah.
So we also want to bring the game to the Switch. Of course, the Switch 1 and the Switch 2. So I have a development kit actually from Nintendo now, so I can port it, and I found someone with a lot of knowledge in that area that's helping me out. So we're building now the version, and it's interesting because I didn't know anything about Switch ports, and you have to do a couple of things. For example, with the controller, that if you rotate the controller, the buttons have a different mapping. So that's something that you have to take into account when building for the Switch. So it's interesting things like that. Also, the storage is different. You have to.
Here we go.
That's what the guy that's helping me out told me. You have to look at the performance as well. But Penguin Panic is actually quite performant. If you look at a lot of other games, they have a lot of problems with that when they move to the Switch. And Penguin Panic is working really smoothly on the Switch. Basically out of the box. So that's nice. Right, I think it will be done later this year.
Oh, very interesting.
Yeah.
It's going to be
Switch.
Switch.
If you look at,
are you ready?
Switch 1, right?
If you look at... Sorry?
Switch 1, right? Not the new one. Or
Yeah,
can
it will be working on both. So
cool.
which one? Yeah, okay, exactly.
Sorry, you were saying something.
Yeah, and I think if you look at features, one thing that is really on my list is a visible leaderboard in the game itself. So currently we have implemented native leaderboards on different platforms. So there's a leaderboard from Steam, of course, you know about that one. But yeah, you have to go to the Steam web interface to see it, or to the app. But I'd like to have it in the game itself. And there's also native implementation of Epic Games leaderboards, for example. But Epic Games doesn't have anywhere a place where you can see them. So they are posted, they are kept the scores, but nobody can see them. And the same is true for iOS. So on iOS you can also cannot see the leaderboards, whereas on Android and on Steam you can. So it's different, per platform if it's visible or not. If we could, have our own implementation, I think in addition to the native implementation, then you can at least, see your own score. And I think it will be motivational if you look at, I think it's the same of what you're doing now, racing against someone else, immediately seeing if you beat someone else's record is, motivating. So I don't think a lot of people are, actively opening the leaderboards on Steam to see if they are in the lists. So I think it's a good thing that we are working on that. But it's it's a bit of work. And as you said, it's a passion project. It's something that we that I also do, and my brother, of course, together we do it together. We are doing it also to learn and to help out our students, to be able to help them out, because we have, let's say, modern game development experience with a game engine like Unity. And if we didn't do that, then our knowledge would be, let's say, a bit outdated, because we do have a lot of experience in creating games, but it was mostly other platforms, web and mobile native platforms.
Yes. Very quickly, Duig, I see you've been paused. Are you doing okay?
Yeah. What?
Are you ready? Here we go.
What was going on? Hey, Lucas.
Yeah.
I didn't think I accidentally missed a few levels, right?
Are you like significantly?
Are you ready?
What is
Here
wrong?
we go.
Are you like double checking if you didn't miss stuff?
Yeah.
What is your time?
13 minutes 11 seconds.
I'd say just rock it. Like, I skipped a level, but that's half the reason I've split to double check myself. But just call it the time we have.
Okay.
And like, if it comes down, if it comes down to it, we'll check faults. But
yeah, I was just wondering because you're only on level 6, and I was like, what's going on here?
I'm on my second run.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
No, I timed mine in the chat, so if you can put yours in the chat as well. Right, but about that leaderboard, were you like also planning to still do the global thing where we can see it between platforms? Because right now there's quite an isolation, I feel like, between the platforms.
Yeah, I think so. I would like to be able to filter it out for platforms still, because I think there's a bit of a difficulty, between the platforms, difficulty difference. On mobile it's a bit harder because you have the on-screen controls. But I think it would be nice to compare your times against, everybody who's playing Penguin Panic, and I think if you can do it, especially against the Android platform, it's motivational because that platform has by far the most players.
Yeah, and you also mentioned that you have like a database full of ghosts of all the people racing. Are you maybe intending to let you race against ghosts in a proper time trial at some point? Would that be too ambitious?
Yeah, actually, also, I think in one of the last builds, I added a feature where your ghost runner is submitted to a central database, where so if you have your best time, basically is then stored for and I can do something with that. I didn't create a replayer for it, but yeah, it's very well possible that you can just race against the best player or a random player or someone from your country or something like that. So I think that can also be an interesting addition. Not planning to do that on the short term, but I think it will be nice.
Something to look out for.
Yeah, really, yeah.
Yeah, because I was wondering, is there also going to be multiple categories? For example, for the leaderboards, we are currently looking at completion. There's no incentive to get 3 stars because that's not what the leaderboard tracks.
Are you ready?
Are you planning to split it up at some point? Or will it just be the one category we have now?
Yeah, that's a good question. I didn't think about that yet. So if you say, okay, that's useful, then I could certainly look at it.
I think it could add a different layer and a different leaderboard. I would definitely be interested in running both, but maybe there's some peer research needed to be done to see if that is a shared idea between the community.
Yeah, I think if you look at the stars, so the first star, of course, you get when you complete the level, the second one if you have all the fish, and then the third one if you do it within the par time. So yeah, I think it makes sense actually that you should have 3 stars. But yeah, as you say, at the moment, if you look at the leaderboards, it's not taken into account. So that could be also something that we can add when we have our own leaderboard system and not using the Steam leaderboards. And the issue with that is that it's really a lot of, and not only Steam but also the other native leaderboards integrations. And the thing with that is that it's quite a lot of work to create a leaderboard for each level. I think that Steam actively wants to discourage using leaderboards in that way because they made it so hard to create new leaderboards. Yeah, so I think I couldn't even enter in the system the level number, so I had to use letters. So you have level A, level B, level C, etc. In the background, because I couldn't say level 1, 2, 3, etc. because they didn't allow that, and it was not a clear let's say error message that helped me find that. So that was quite a strange quirk of Steam.
Right. So it's just mainly a technical thing that's really holding you back right now on that.
It's not mainly a technical thing, but it does help in the decision. And I think when I have my own system, I'm not dependent on Steam. So that I think that is, that helps.
Because I have been very interested in this game, and I've also been checking out some other people, but I have heard a sentiment of people saying like, oh, there is a leaderboard. It's very well hidden right now, so I'd be very excited to see how much more attention to going fast it actually brings. Because
yeah, me too. I think if people get into it, it definitely helps the replayability and the time they spend in the game. So I think that's also something to nice to say, is that we look to optimize the time spent in the game. Of course, in Steam you have like a refund period, so we wanted to be to have a certain amount of gameplay that people won't refund it, even though they like it. I know from another student also in the classes at the game lab. He said he had quite a good game that was downloaded a lot, played a lot, but it was too short. So people, even though they liked it, they after an hour or so they would deinstall it. And what I see now is that if people are first players of the game, so they need about 2 hours at least to finish it. Sometimes even more, so between 2 and 3 hours. If you are a veteran, then you can complete it in less than an hour. But of course, then you need to be really, really good, and most of the time you already bought the game. But that's something that we optimized. So we saw, okay, how much do you have to replay a level to have that time and not crazy. So you don't want to play the same level 10 times. But yeah, there is some repetitive playing needed to get to that time that that you have that you cannot refund it at least, and that is fun enough, and you don't have the idea, oh, this game is ending so quickly. It misses a lot of content. But if people are going for beating their own scores, you can really see that helps the game time a lot, even more, I think, than replaying the same level to unlock the next.
Yeah, initially I was like, oh, I have to replay my old levels, but especially the ghost mechanic really made me enticed to replay it. I just felt compelled to reach 3 stars in every level to try to beat my ghost, get better times. So I feel like despite it being a bit of replay, I think this game adds up really well for replay. One thing I absolutely adore is the secrets you put in this game. The little secret rooms tend to add a lot to the race. Also just for the pathing, there's 2 major axes in which we've been talking. There's getting enough fishes and being fast enough, and I think especially for the fish count, you're really scrambling through levels. So the secrets make it really interesting to me. For example, on 9.2, I believe, 9.2 was the one your child made?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So my son Finn, he drew it on a piece of paper, and there's actually in the game there is an Easter egg. If you press 8 times the right button on your directional button, the right directional button on your keyboard, when you're on the level 9.2, then it will show you the paper on which he drew it, and then we brought that level into Unity, and then we could you can race it. But he's really he likes Geometry Dash a lot, so for him it cannot be difficult enough. But this level is quite challenging.
Yeah, I quickly pulled it up on stream, so I'm gonna reset my run. But yeah, I think especially the design of these levels are very interesting. Was there a certain thought process going into the design of the levels, or was it a case-by-case basis?
Are you ready?
Yeah, so I think, except for that one 9.2 level, the other levels are made by me or by Bowie. Bowie has made most of the levels actually. And the thought process, it was more like a process, not a thought process. It was in the beginning we had the idea to have that exploratory, that it would be an exploratory game, so the levels would... Excuse me?
The choose your path thing, where you have multiple paths to go. Yeah. Yeah,
exactly, and also to find all the fish, and then have all the fish that you want at the end, and then you need the fish to unlock the next level. So you really need, and then of course that's also where the secrets came from. So that helps you explore the level, even though you know the best path. We limited to only 1 secret per level, also to not to make it exploratory, but to have, let's say, a reason to explore the level, even if you beat it and if you know the quickest path, but not overly explore the level or whatever. It's just if you have the secret and you know the quickest path, you can go to the next one. So it's more quick in that way.
Yeah.
And the levels are, we thought we want different themes. So we have you can see that also on the world map. So we have 3 themes: the green, the desert, and also ice theme. And then actually we have 4 themes, because the last level has its own theme. There you have the lava and the darker surroundings. So that's what we thought that would be nice if we have and that's also something that we drew from the Penguin Adventure game, because there you have also a water level, and so the inspiration for that came from that game, and you also have that world view, which is and that game is not about racing, it's more about let's say it's like an endless runner game.
Here we go.
So there you have to just make it to the end and then see if you can complete the whole map in one go, because that game you cannot die, because then the game is over. That's typically how the 80s games work, right? So
they have to put a new quarter in the slot machine.
Yeah, and I think looking back on that time, it's quite amazing that so many people were playing that over and over again, even though you had to start over, at the very beginning if you make one tiny mistake. And that's not the kind of game that we wanted to make. But yeah, of course you now have a level, and if that one level you screw it up, you have to start over again. So that is on a smaller scale.
Yeah, but
it's more forgiving.
I think every level, like if you go fast, it's less than a minute. So the forgiveness in the level is actually really quite nice.
Are you ready? Here we go.
I had another question, but it has left my mind. Duik, do you have any further questions you would like to ask? Maybe something from the chat, or maybe Jeroen, you have something yourself you'd like to mention?
No, sorry.
Also, bless you.
Yeah, thanks. No, I don't really have any questions.
How are the runs going?
Might be a bit worse than the first one, I'm not sure.
Alright. I didn't split. I did split. Okay.
Are you ready? Here we go.
Let's see, what else can we ask?
How do you think you're going at the moment? What makes it appealing for you?
To me, this game originally was very charming. Like, I had a look at the Steam page, and it really felt nostalgic to me. Like, I am a 2000s kid, so to me, this game embodied my childhood. It was like that sweetness, that softness, it felt real. And getting into the game, I originally just liked its charm, but the further I went, the more I was like, this game actually feels really nice to control. And to me, it was also, at the start there were a few bugs, but especially as it went on, I think the game felt more and more polished. And especially in the state that it's now, like, there's a few minor bugs and things, but the game overall just feels so good to go, and like, there's never a moment where you feel like you get punished by the game for just the game being itself. Like, whenever you mess up, it's often because you mess up yourself, you don't know a niche mechanic. And to me, just that skill-intense feeling is really great, and just got me hooked on this game.
Here we go.
Yeah, I think one of the things you mentioned, that there's quite bug-free. That's one of the things that we also wanted to really have that. Because it's the game itself is quite simple in its mechanics. We were able to do that. But I think, especially for a game like this, it's really, really important. So if there's something, if you're stuck, for example, somewhere, or and that happened in earlier builds, I think you uncovered some of those bugs yourself even.
Here we go.
That can be very frustrating. That, people, are going to leave the game very quickly. So I think creating a game, you're making sure that you iron out all the small bugs. It's actually most of the work. So you can create a game like this. I think we worked on it for a year. But yeah, working on all the bugs, it took another year. And that was like with 1 day a week. So it's not that we worked on it actually for a full year or something. But yeah, but still, bug fixing is way more work than you would think when you have your game ready, in the main form, and you can run and you can jump and everything. And you have the levels, and you think, okay, it's almost done, and then you see all those small things that you need to fix. Also, the UI was quite a pain to fix all the bugs in there and make sure that you can select all the buttons. And if you select something, the right screen pops up. It looks really simple, but it's actually way harder than I even expected. So that took a lot of time. But I think that is a good thing about any game. And I'd also want to take the opportunity to encourage anyone who is creating games to tune down the scope if you need, and finish the game, and take the time to iron out bugs, and
here we go.
Prioritize that over creating more content, and put it live as soon as you can. Because I think there's a lot of people working on games that take years, that are never completed, and they spend a lot of time on them, which is then not rewarded. And I think if you put your game out there, you get those analytics that I told you about. It's a lot of fun getting also a reaction from people, seeing it's being streamed, or seeing things on social media about it. So as soon as you can release the game, do that. Of course, taking into account that you need to, you don't need a game with a lot of bugs. But I think a lot of people are, saying, okay, it needs to be perfect, it needs to be super polished, it needs to have a lot of content, because it has to live up to their own vision on how a game should look. And I think if you can manage to bring it earlier and focus on having something that is playable and good, instead of huge and epic or whatever, then you're much more rewarded, and you can gather all the positive feedback and the negative ones, and then think about your next steps. And maybe that will be a sequel, maybe that will be a DLC, maybe that will be patches or whatever. But I think, or a totally different game. But for me, at least, also this game proves it, that if you create something, bring it on the market, even though it has a relatively small scope, you can be quite surprised about the results. And yeah, I wouldn't have thought that hundreds of people downloaded this every day, and that if I look at the map right now, I can see people playing all over the world. So that's quite fun.
Here we go.
Yeah, because I see it more and more nowadays, where big games like Factorio and Satisfactory as well are just in early access for quite a while. And I think, especially in how easy outreach is nowadays, I think it's more important than ever to just get your feedback.
Are you ready? Here we go.
Also myself, I try to contribute to getting some help with getting some bugs out, and helping out with finding what is fun about the game. And sometimes you think my game needs a gun, and then when you publish the game, it's like nobody asks for where the gun feature is, and it's like, yeah, maybe I should have just released it first before spending a lot of resource on this mechanic nobody cares about. So I think it's really good advice to just crack on with it, see how the game does, and work from there.
Yeah, I think that example nails it. And that's true actually for all software development. So not just games, but what you see in games is that people are so committed, so into it, so living their own vision and dream, that they get their vision gets skewed by what they consider their to be their standards, and then it can get to a point that you never complete something. And yeah, I think that is a shame if I look at so many projects that are just too big for the teams that are taking them on, and that's also why why I want to emphasize this once more. Yeah, and then why this game, it took longer than I am expected, but even so, it's finished, and I can now decide what to do, if I want to expand it or not, and in what areas, and I can look at the feedback, and yeah, maybe there will be one day kind of a sequel, the fighting game that I was talking to you about. But then again, we did find that. The games there are a lot of games out there, and most of them are really good. And I think every game should have something unique to it. This game doesn't have that much, right? It has a penguin, it has a dancing penguin actually, and it's well done and it looks nice, etc. And it's easy to pick up.
Are you ready?
So I think it has some qualities that make it worthwhile playing it and downloading it, etc. and buying it. But yeah, I think a game should have a bit more uniqueness to it. So if we are going to make another one or a sequel or whatever, then it should have some more unique qualities that you don't see in other games.
Yeah. Speaking of the dancing penguin, I have a question in chat. Why the dancing penguins?
Yeah, that's so there's two reasons. One is that we thought humor is important in games. So yeah, we wanted to be to have something that you could look at and laugh about, and this certainly is something that gets a smile on someone's face. And the other reason is that the game Penguin Adventure actually also has a dancing penguin when you beat the boss. So and even in that game, you have you're dancing yourself, or a lot of supporting dancers also come into the screen, and it's different each time how many there are. And also for the egg, what comes out of the egg, for example, that can be very different. I think you've seen that as well. You can collect all those.
Yeah, exactly.
In the beginning it was still your piglet, your baby that comes out, but now you have all kinds of things like a computer and a frog and a capybara, and that's also something to make it more fun and more exciting, and have something to look forward to when you complete the level. You can be curious what comes out, and also it's inspired by Penguin Adventure, where you have the same thing. So in the end, the penguin thinks about something that will motivate him to go on, and sometimes he thinks about his girl actually, where he's going to in that game. But sometimes also he thinks about a beer or something, or something stupid, or an apple. So that's quite funny, and that also for me that was kind of for that era it was quite unique that a game has so much depth actually, that when you finish a level you have something to look forward to, and I thought it would be nice to have that in this game as well.
Yeah, a little bit of an homage to an old game, and something fun to look out for. That's actually really cool. I thought it was mainly something fun to look out for, but that homage to the old game, or that reference, is really cool to me. I hadn't thought about it that way.
Here we go.
I mean, it's from a completely different era. When was the Penguin Adventure from again?
Excuse me?
What time was the Penguin Adventure from again? It was like 80s, right? The old game.
Oh yeah. So it was actually one of the games that was Hideo Kojima, the famous game designer. He also worked on that one. I think it's a bit of his, at least his spirit that is in that game, to have a bit more depth in it than you saw in that era usually.
Was it an arcade game? Or was
I think it's also an arcade game. It was actually exclusive for at least it came out first on the MSX computer, you could there's great music in it. There's great humor in it. You raise the levels. There's very different levels like we have as well. Like they have a cave and they have water, and all kinds of stuff. You race through that, but yeah, you have to be careful in that game, because if you die, then you have to start over all again. That's I think the one thing that I don't like so much about it.
Here we go.
But for the rest, all the graphics are great, especially if you look at where they needed to, what the specs were of the machines that they were using. Like 3.5 megahertz computers with 16 colors on screen at one time. But it was really difficult to make an appealing game on that platform, but they managed to do it. So I highly recommend it. If you can find also, of course, videos about the game. Look it up, Penguin Adventure MSX. I think you will not be disappointed.
I'll definitely need to check it out after stream. If you could leave me a Discord message with it, then I'll remember it after stream.
Sure.
Because I've somewhat gotten hooked on this game. I'm not sure if you've noticed. I'm not sure if I have the one with the most hours besides you in it, but it is one of those games
Are you
that
ready?
I love to occasionally just get back to cracking some levels. The one thing I'm mainly missing is competition. Like, that's also why I'm really interested in seeing like global leaderboards and what effect that has on the player base. Because to me, I'm currently top holder on the Steam platform. Like, I don't have anyone to fight, but there was a time where Duig and I were fighting for certain levels. Like level 1 and level 2 have been completely optimized to the point where eventually I discovered some very wild bugs to even have to gain the tiniest advantages. So I think this adds a very cool dynamic to the game where you have to, not just route yourself properly, but see how to properly get through things. I think that is truly a charm of the game, where on the surface it looks like a fun casual game, but if you go deeper into it, there's actually a lot of depth, a lot of pathing, a lot of different mechanics. Like, even how you walk, where you jump, there are certain like corners or edges where you can bump yourself to speed up a little bit. So it's actually a game with endless possibility that makes it quite enticing to me.
And I think what is interesting for me as a designer of the game is that I'm not that good at the game. I think you're much better than me. So that's also interesting to see what kind of things players do to win and to be the best. And I experienced that before also with Online Soccer Manager, which was a previous game of mine, which is a totally different game, of course, a management game about football, etc. So we'll have a very different target audience. But there you saw also that players were much better than me, and they knew a lot more about the game actually and how to play it, even though I designed it. And that I always thought that it's quite nice that you can have layers of depth that you don't know about when you are creating it. So certain as you mentioned, certain spots in a level that you can use to get an advantage that were not intentional, but they are just there because it's like the real world. It's an environment that has some stuff that needs to be discovered, and the slightest movement can make a difference. So I really enjoy also looking at you, completing those levels and see how well you play this game.
Yeah, sub 10 was. Oh, sorry, 1 second. Sub 10 to me was like a very big goal, because like it is very tight to see how well you can go through this game. But the fact that
are you ready?
There's just so much skill expression in this game, also just makes it so much more interesting. Like, you don't need to know how to properly bang your head against a certain corner to get the best angle to beat the game. But the fact that there is this world where you can focus on that and where there's reward for it, like that to me is the biggest replayability, where you can actually become really good at a certain level or a certain mechanic and just grind out everything you know about it. That to me is like yeah, where my biggest love
Are
for the
you
game
ready?
lies right
Here
now.
we go.
Because originally I was like, I'm just gonna get the 3 stars on every level and get all the achievements, but normally whenever I get to that point with a game, I'm just done with it. Like, I feel like for the most people that is just a very beautiful ending point, you got everything, you're done.
Yeah.
Which is, I don't know, maybe this is another good argument why you should just release your game before completely polishing it. You never know what audience you may reach, and yeah, how well stuff will do. I skipped the level. Alright, that explains. Don't worry, I'll backtrack the level.
Yeah.
Are you ready? Here we go.
You shouldn't skip this one.
No, you know what? My time is not gonna be an improvement, so I'm actually gonna try to do the secret route.
Oh, really? Yeah. Almost. Yeah.
Oh no! Last jump.
Are you ready? Here we go.
I almost got it.
Yeah.
So tight.
I thought you were doing that so effortlessly, but you know, you're also human.
Yeah.
Thank God. Otherwise, we have to redesign it again to be more difficult. That's actually what my son suggested, to make it more difficult, and also to have that secret part as something that you need to do to complete the level. You know, that's for me. It feels it feels too hard to get the players through that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna claim the crown as best player of the game, and to me it's still a very hard part, especially since a lot of these mechanics, like the hangs, are just completely unique to this level. Like, you don't do it anywhere else.
Actually, there is one level that you have to do that. I introduced that especially to practice and to know about it at least. The hang on the blocks. I think it's 4 or 4.2 or 5.2, one of those levels.
Let's see.
That you first have to do that. And it's also, of course, in level 10 you also need it to get to the whole area
Are you ready?
that is unique for that level.
Here we go.
Alright. Let's see. 4-2. I'm not.
One.
Alright. Let's see.
So here you also need to do hanging on this block to get to the secret.
Wait, what was the secret here?
You go to the left a bit more.
Oh, it's this one, yeah.
Yeah, over here. And you have actually 2, so you can get higher than the first one, and that's just to introduce the mechanic. So you know about it and you know that it can be done. You're maybe curious in the beginning and it's just 1, so you don't need to do 10 of them to reach the secret spot.
Also, Duig, I see you're starting another run. I think we've timed that.
I mean, if I get sub 10, maybe.
Alright, you're gonna push it through. I'm gonna call this my last run because I've set a time I'm happy with. What was my last time? 10:49. Sadly, not as good as I would love it to be, but I was running on 9:1. I want to quickly have a look at chat because I have mostly been focusing on this interview. Sandra, welcome in. Lucas, welcome in. Duig, Bowie, nice to see you as well. Zorp, thanks for lurking, and good morning, Bears. We have 5 more minutes left for this segment. I am slowly gonna start transitioning over my stuff for the next segment. Do you have any final things, final shoutouts you would like to give, Jeroen, before heading off again?
Well, if anyone watching this thinks this is a nice game, wants to pick it up, just do it and let me know what you think. I always like to get feedback from players, even if it's critical or negative. Where we can learn from it, and yeah. So please do that, and I'll be happy to react on anything you post or whatever, or give feedback or answer questions.
Yes. This is the
Thanks
Steam
a lot
link.
for playing it and bringing it also to the attention of people.
Well, thank you for developing it. I think originally you said you'll send me a refund, but I've had so much enjoyment out of this game. Like, it was worth every buck, even though it wasn't that expensive. I just, it had that simple charm to it that just, it's hard to capture something like this, and just the ad-free experience, the just polish on the game. It felt so heartwarming that it's just a good place to come back to. Also, Dewey?
Okay. I don't think I'm gonna do it.
Alright. Very quickly, me shouting something of my own out. If y'all look at the pinned message, we're trying to raise some money for this birthday stream. There is some goals I have set. Let me share my screen once more. There are some goals for the donations. My main goal I'm hoping to reach is 200 euros. It's a stretch, but I've had quite some interest in becoming a VTuber at some point, and those models were expensive, and in my current financial situation I cannot afford the whole thing. So if people could help me get there, that would be very largely appreciated. But please don't give anything you can't miss right now. I would love to become a VTuber, but it shouldn't come out of your meals, so only have stuff to spare. Jeroen, I'm gonna move on to the next piece. Same with Duig. Thank you both for being here, and I'm gonna try to get the next guest in here for the next segment.
Sure, thanks too.
Hey.